As Thad thought about it, it really was an awesome name for a space being. Turmeric. It had a nice ring to it, like thoughts and numeric combined. Also, people love it in their teas, as my coworker exclaimed about it today. 1 year and 33 days since I started writing this story. Martin Luther King Day, to be exact. Did you know he cheated on his wife? Even our heroes have faults. Sharon Lynn had called him that, because of the color of his hair, of course. She came up with it while running her fingers through his hair as they laid together. I don't mean to interrupt your nostalgia, Turmeric interrupted. I just know, never mind. Nostalgia is better than remain in your thoughts. Sorry. Wait, is there other planets with aliens? Could I date an alien and forget all about her? Thaddeus asked. If you want, I could totally eternal sunshine of the spotless mind you. But no, that didn't work out well for Jim Carrey, did it? Turmeric suggested. Well, yeah, but what about an alien woman? It's possible for you to cohabitate my body. Is it not possible for other species to love each other and mate together? Thad contemplated aloud. Hold on there, buddy. First of all, your entire planet is so sex-driven, it's awful. Do you know why my people are so advanced in our thoughts and abilities? We've never had sex, Turmeric explained. Never had sex? Well, I know what that was like for most of my life. And you're right. It's a little absurd the way that even our architecture resembles sexual organs, Thaddeus agreed. I know, I can't even begin to complain about all of your movies and sci-fi shows involving humanoid aliens. It's so frustrating. Can I just say that it's really nice to talk? Turmeric enjoyed talking. You're right, with all the creativity science fiction has, there's way too much Earth-inspired creatures. And it is nice to talk, Thad responded. No, I mean, it's literally so nice to talk. You see, ourselves, we don't have to talk, we just do things. We've evolved past speaking. We kind of just look at each other and can know, even though we don't have eyes. I'm just trying to make this all make sense for you? Turmeric went on. No, yeah, I get it. It's incredibly interesting. I'm sorry. I got so low level and resorted to asking about alien sex, but, you were the one that sparked thoughts of my ex. Thad resembled a sad and happy puppy at the same time. Listen, I know so many movies and shows are like, yeah, alien sex is great, but when it's really only human women dressed up in a costume. Now, don't get me wrong, there are humanoid species out there, but traveling to other planets is never what the shows and movies have it portrayed as, Turmeric informed Thad. Chapter 3 Tragic Moments in Space History. I apologize for leaving Turmeric and Thaddeus in the spaceship, but these tragic moments in space history are best experienced in some kind of transition to another screen, or page in this case. The first story pertains to Thad's question about alien sex. There was an astronaut who really doesn't want you to know his name because he's terribly embarrassed about what happened to him. Leaving Earth, his pod went off course and communications were lost, but he managed to arrive at one of the few known planets with humanoid creatures. Her name was Sulin Shamank Quananumanin. Pronounced how it looks, obviously the T is silent. And she literally looked just like an alien from one of those terrible movies that disregards the rest of the universe. She had green skin and voluptuous breasts. Cliché, I know, but this was the reality. Her hair was more like tentacles mixed with hair. Her face was reminiscent of your favorite supermodel/actress. The ones that are in perfume ads. Unfortunately for her, her planet did not value such beauty, so she was outcast and made fun of. She had a lowly job of removing pests from her society. It made her happy, though, as she felt she was helping out her planet. When the astronaut arrived, he too was outcast and made fun of for his different color skin. So when he met Sul and Shamamak, the two were happy to be outcast together. It took a while for her to learn English and him to learn Haknamen, but with more and more common ground, they found each other falling in love. The astronaut missed his family and friends, but was happy he had managed to not only survive, but thrive with Sul and Shamak. They both worked together to rid the planet of pests, and the food wasn't as bad as it looked. It honestly looked as bad as all excrements combined, but tasted like someone smashed a salad into a pizza and covered it in dressing, so like a ruined good taste. It had been years since the astronaut had seen a woman, let alone a naked one. When they learned enough to get close enough, their relationship took a huge step. As both of their clothes fell off, the astronaut was excited to see her breasts were very similar to human breasts. He was a little weirded out when they seemed to suction his hands to them, and noticed they were a bit harder than human breasts, but he was happy to take their new relationship to the next level. As they both shed their clothes and their hands explored each other, she was surprised at how soft his penis was, even when it was hard. It didn't bother her, though. She had known he was different ever since she saw he didn't have green skin, and she loved having him as company. The astronaut happily made it to her genitals and was glad to see they resembled a normal human vagina. He offered foreplay, but she insisted that wasn't the way it worked on her planet. She should have said more, honestly, but she had been an outcast so long, her mind had given way to important information and was caught up in the lust of the moment. As the astronaut's penis drew closer to her vagina, his gaze was directed at her eyes, as any gentleman would in that moment. What he didn't see was her seemingly normal-looking vagina opening up like the underneath of a squid, except where suction cups would be, there was spiky teeth. Before he could realize what happened, it engulfed not only his penis, but also his testicles and ripped them clean off.